And welcome back to another Paul's Aquariums video. I thought I would do a little bit of a tank tour. Haven't done one for a while, and we've had a lot of local bred fish in lately. So instead of sort of unboxing all the fish this week, we're going to jump from tank to tank to tank, show you a whole lot of fish and what is available. Also, either today or tomorrow or whenever this upload of this video, we will have our first upload of corals, unboxing captive grown corals from sustainable reefs in cans. I know, exciting. It has been, what, 18 years since we've had corals. So this rack here, we're going to probably fill up about that much of it. I know, all low light corals, SPS, I think LPS, as well as soft corals. Not many SPS, so very easy to keep SPS. So yeah, easy to keep stuff like that brown thing that should not be brown, is supposed to be red, but it's brown. All the corals that we did get in, I think about 3 weeks ago, all our zoas and our cloves and all sorts of stuff, goniopora, etc., acans, they're all doing well and they're all eating. Moved a few things around, galaxia, little evil porcupine things. Yes, haven't stung anyone, so they're sort of a safe distance away, but we should have a whole of those and all sorts of other bits and pieces. Oh, and my first frags that I've ever fragged myself, that liver coral there and that one, are doing well. Yay, there is mum liver coral. Well, him, her, shim, I don't know what it is. But anyway, all those corals are doing well. New ones will be in there in the next video. Exciting stuff. Let's get started, jump to a random tank and go from there. And the first tank is technically an overgrown display tank with a little tiny trap in it and absolutely wiggly crazy baby fish. I know, I think I've just spooked them because I've just shoved the camera in their face, but these are Senegal Bashir or BETTA, depending on what mood you are in and how you want to pronounce them. These are obviously bred by me. If you haven't seen any of my fish room videos, there's a whole heap of videos on breeding them, but we have 2 available. Last 2 until the other ones grow up. These are probably about 8 to 10 centimeters, give or take, eating pellets, a whole lot of other meaty foods. Absolutely cool little fish. They're going to max out around about 30 centimeters. They're not going to eat anything bigger than probably like about a 6 centimeter fish. So you can get the bigger tetras, smaller American cichlids. pH-wise, anything from 6.5 to 7.5, and they'll be perfectly fine. They are a tropical fish, so you want to keep them roughly between 22 degrees and 28 degrees Celsius. But if you want to know more about them, either drop in the store or give us a message or what have you. But only 2 of those available. That is the last 2 until the other ones sort of grow up, which is probably going to be about March or so by the time they're sellable sort of size, to give you an idea. How cute is that? There is a lot of local bred guppies at the moment. I think we got about 200 or 300 in the last week. I don't think these were in the last unboxing video because we get, as I said, a lot of fish come and go that don't really make it to the videos, but there's some really nice mosaic green guppies in here. Tons of males, tons of females. Females are all absolutely filled with fry at the moment, and they can give birth to up to 60 babies each. I know, that is the crazy thing that is guppies. So there's a lot of different strains. There's also some local bred angelfish in here. So angelfish are from South America. You want to keep the pH 6.5 to 7 for your angels, and your guppies don't like it below 7. So if you're going to have a mixed tank like this, you want to sort of aim for about that neutral pH. Guppies are perfectly fine, anything from 7 to about 7.4 in pH. Don't like the water acidic, as I said, but awesome fish if you want something super easy to breed. Guppies are pretty much the ones to go for, and there are a ton of really big fat females and really nice colored males in this tank at the moment. A pretty cheap fish as well. You're looking at about $7 each on average for a guppy, which isn't that much. If you are going to mix males and females, try and keep more females than males, or just males on their own. Otherwise, if you've got quite a few males and one female, they're just going to absolutely harass the poor girls continuously. So cool. Look how nice some of those are. Now we're going to sort of jump down here a little bit, and we have more guppies in with these platies. Now, I did warn you there are a lot of fish coming and going. So these are some sort of red mosaic. I'm not entirely sure the name of them, but again, local bred guppies. There are platies in here as well. So those really brightly colored awesome fish in here are platies. Not the red-tailed ones, which are guppies, obviously, but platies and guppies are both Central American. The platies can go to tolerate the temperature a lot lower than the guppies will. So again, guppies 20 degrees up to 28 is ideal. Their platies can live all the way down to about 10 degrees, so 10 to 28. They have extreme range in temperatures with them. There is a couple of little black mollies in here as well. Mollies don't like the pH below 7, so most of these platies, guppies, mollies, 7 to 7.4 is a good range for them. The mollies can go all the way up to full ocean water at about 8.2, 8.4, so don't worry too much about the mollies not surviving in alkaline water. It's more the acid that upsets all these fish. But again, lovely tropical fish. There are males and females in all of them. Look how colourful they are. I know, that is kind of crazy. On to the next tank. Now, it's only when I film videos like this that I realise there are so many different live berries in the tanks. I know, we have another couple of different strains of guppies in here. It looks like some sort of red tuxedos. Males and females again. There are, I think, about 3 or 4 different types of swordtails in here as well. Now, swordtails are sort of like your platies. They're a longer version, different species, of course, but they look like a platy. Males have the sword on the end of the tail, and the females don't, but they will get a lot bigger than a platy, probably about 3 times the size. Good 10 centimeters plus for a swordtail. Swordtails will tolerate the water the same as platies, all the way down to almost 10 degrees Celsius, where the guppies, as I said, like at 20 or above. Tons of guppies, tons of platies. No, wait, swordtails. We did see tons of platies in the last tank, but these are swordtails. Awesome fish, very easy to breed again, live bearers, but there's some really nice black and blue ones in here, some orange lighttails and all sorts of stuff. Actually, I don't think I did see any lighttails. There are wagtails, which is the black on them. Might be 1 or 2 lighttails, which is sort of like a half moon sort of shape to them, but a lot of other guppies. Exciting stuff. And we have neon tetras, everyone's favorite, just an all-round awesome little tropical fish if you want something colourful, cheap, easy to keep. They're around about 10 for $25 or $3 each Australian, which isn't too dear for a lovely tetra. That's the natural colour of them. They're from South America. pH-wise, anything from 6 to 7, and temperature-wise, anything from 22 to 26 degrees Celsius, and they will do perfectly well. Like the water a little bit more acidic, like most tetras do. I think in the tank next door we have some head and tail like tetras, which are those weird sort of brownie coloured ones, but they've got an absolute awesome orange eye and like an orange mark of a black dot. I was going to say a dot on their tail. A little bit bigger than the neon tetras, same sort of water requirements, but they're going to max out about double the size of a neon, so about sort of 6 to 7 centimeters, where a neon's going to get about 2.5, 3 centimeters to give you an idea. The other little fish in here are a raspora, so those are harlequin raspora. Same sort of water requirements as most of your tetras, same temperature in that, except they're a little Asian fish. And I think if we sneak next door, we have some albino neon tetras, which just sort of brightens them up, gets rid of that whole brown sort of pigmentation to them. There's a few random long-fin cherry barbs left in there, and a few random rummy-nosed tetras. So rummy-nosed tetras are kind of cool. They're going to survive all the way down to like a pH of 3.5, all the way up to about 7 or so. Yeah, pretty extreme with rummy-nosed tetras. They do like the water nice and warm, so you want your temperature anything up to like about 30 degrees Celsius for those. So say 26 to 30 for your rummy-nose. Neon's obviously a little bit cooler, but you can keep them all at a happy sort of 24, 25 degrees Celsius, and they'll do perfectly fine. If we go down the bottom here, what have we got in here? Pearl dinios. They're a lovely fish, very underrated. There's a couple of random mollies and a couple of guppies as well. Of course there is. So I think those are sailfin mollies, a couple of boys left in there. There's a couple of bristlenose, there's one on the side lurking around. But these little guys here, the pearl dinios, are an Asian fish again, schooling. They look like a mini trout. Really, really cool. It's got an iridescent bluey sheen to them with the really, really nice orange in the belly. They're going to max out about 5 centimeters or so. Schooling, so try and keep a group of them, the same as most tetras in that, which I probably should have told you about the neons and stuff like that and the head and tail lights, but I didn't. Yeah, so keep a group of those. Certain fish like guppies are okay on their own or a group, but schooling fish, you want a group of 5 or more for them to do their natural behavior and not completely freak out. In the tank next door, we have more bristlenose. We have a lot of local bristlenose at the moment, but we have some really, really cool tetras. So the ones with the red eye and sort of the lemony color are actually called lemon tetras. I know, South American fish again. There's a couple of bigger albino corridorus, which is another South American little catfish. Yes, these little guys, whoop, if we can focus, where are we? There we are. Is there a dinio in there? I think I saw a dinio. Must have jumped from the other tank. We're going to pop, oh, 2 dinios. We're going to pop them back with the other ones a little bit later. But these lemon tetras are, again, a South American tetra. So you want to keep your temperature anything from 22 to 26 degrees and pH anything from 6.5 to 7. They will be perfectly fine. More guppies. We have more guppies. Look how pretty these guppies are. I know, we have a lot of guppies, mainly because there are so many different strains of guppies coming and going. These are weird imported strains. Don't ask me what they are, but they are absolutely beautiful looking fish. These are all boys, but you can mix them with the girls you saw in the other tanks. And we have a ton of female betta fish, something you don't want to mix with guppies. I know a few people say they're perfectly fine to mix with guppies, but these are going to absolutely nip the heck out of those ones' fins. So they sort of get confused when they see a guppy and they think a guppy is a male betta fish. And all they see is big flowing fins and an odd nip. So with your female betta fish, you can keep them in a group like this. So 3 or more is generally the rule. If 3 of them start fighting, add another 2 or 3. So you will need a tank that's about 50, 60 litres plus if you're going to have a group of 5 or more of them. Those are double tails. I think there's some deltas in there, all hiding over there in the plant where their food is because they've decided to push the food over there and do their thing. Next door we have some longfin black widow tetras or black skirt tetras. I know, I'm still weirded out that half the world calls them black skirt tetras, but apparently New Zealand, Australia and the UK call them black widow tetras. These are just the longfin version. Again, that's 6.5 to 7 and temperature wise 22 to 26 degrees. They'll be perfectly fine. Keep a group of them and you cannot go wrong. Just a lovely fish if you want something a little bit bigger that is still a tetra. In this tank next door, we have a whole heap of local bred gouramis. Yeah, now we have a lot of gouramis at the moment. So these are gold gouramis, really cool pattern to them. They're an Asian fish, so they like the temperature anything from 25 to about 30 degrees Celsius. pH-wise, anything from 6 to 7. They will breathe through the surface. They've got those cool little whiskery fins that they feel around with just to see where everything is. I know, it's ridiculous. It's like whisker fins, whisker fin fish. So cool, very easy to breed. They build bubble nests as well. Cool red eyes. They're going to get more gold as they mature. And if we scoot along here a little bit, there are some more in this tank, which are actually a little bit bigger, a little bit more gold to give you an idea of what they'll look like. And we have some really weird blue rams that are more yellow than blue. I know, those are a South American cichlid, so they're a little bit harder to keep than just standard cichlids because they want the temperature a little bit warmer. So rams do well at 26 to 30 degrees Celsius and a pH between like 6 and 6.8. Slightly acidic to acidic, and they do like low mineral content in the water if you want to breed them. But gouramis, same sort of idea, but they will tolerate alkaline water for a little bit if you sort of let it slip, or generally don't worry too much about water chemistry, which you should, shame on you. But how nice are those gouramis? A lot of gouramis. Now, back over here, we have some sunshine rams. I know, I think I got these in last week. There's still some available. They've really colored up a lot nicer now. What a lovely looking fish. I know, they look a lot yellower than the blue yellow rams. Confused? Yeah, you should be. And what else have we got in here? We have some yellow phantom tetras, which are the ones with the red eyes. Red eyes? No, fins. Those are fins, not eyes. They have black eyes and red fins. And we have some golden longfin dinios. So a bit of a mix in here, but yeah, they are all compatible, all tropical fish. You want to keep your pH 6.5 to 7 for most of these, and they will be perfectly fine. Next door, we have some glow light tetras, which is another South American tetra, and we have some cherry barbs, which is an Asian barb. So both of these are perfectly fine at 6.5 to 7. Temperature-wise, anything from like 22 to 26 degrees Celsius, and you can't go wrong. Cherry barbs will color up a really, really nice cherry color. And the glow light tetras get that awesome neon sort of glowy stripe to them, hence why they're called a glow light tetra. What did we see over here? We saw, oh goodness, there's a big mixture of stuff in here. So we have some black neon tetras, which are the ones with the black stripe. They're not a neon tetra, they're just called a black neon tetra. What else have we got? We have some tiger barbs. We're going to zoom out a little bit, maybe we can see a little bit better there. One random albino tiger barb, one random Coach's blue tetra. No, wait, two Coach's blue tetras. and a few random other assorted bits and pieces. Did I just see more guppies? I saw more guppies. Okay, quite a few tanks at the moment have a big mixture of random stuff in there. Some leucistic Kerry tetras in there. A couple more Corydoras. I'm not too sure why there's 2 in this tank and 2 in the other one, seeing they're a schooling fish, but a few random ones in there. We're going to move over, come up here. There we go. There's some more fish. So we have some red-blue Colombian tetras, some albino bristlenose, which is just the albino version of your normal brown bristlenose, all local bred as well. And what have we got next door? More betta fish, but these are local bred female bettas. Look how pretty they are. This is why I shouldn't really look at them like I am now, because I just want to take them all home. They're just nice looking fish. There is your common bristlenose there. So they are a South American sucker fish. So temperature wise, anything from about 22 to 28 degrees. I know they don't like it below 20 degrees, so try and keep them in tropical tanks. A lot of people mix them with goldfish, but not that great for the bristlenose. And the bristlenose do like the pH below 7, where the goldfish like it more alkaline. Zipridonios you can mix with goldfish, which are these little stripy guys. They will tolerate a huge range of pHs and temperatures, but don't mix them with big goldfish because they're just not going to cope. So Zipridonios are going to cope with anything from temperature-wise about 10 degrees all the way up to about 30 degrees, and pH-wise anything from 6.5 to 7.5. So there's a big range with them, as long as they're not shocked or anything like that. Always on the go, super hard to film. You get that. Now, what have we got in here? We have some little tiny Pristilla tetras, and we have some really, really, really nice red honey dwarf gouramis. So red honey dwarf gouramis are like your gold honey dwarf gourami, but they're not gold, they're red. Well, they're technically orange, aren't they? I know, it gets confusing because someone calls them red, but they're more orange than red. A dwarf gourami, they're going to max out about that 5-6 centimeters. Super peaceful, temperature-wise 26 to 30 degrees. Gouramis like it nice and warm. There's a few rainbow sharks lurking around in there as well. They're a little Asian fish like the gouramis are, and these tetras are from South America. But if you keep all these community fish at about 6.5 to 7 pH, temperature-wise about 25-26 degrees, and you can't really go wrong. Schooling fish keep in groups. Fish like the sharks, they will start to scrap with each other when they get a little bit bigger, so they do better 1 per tank, because eventually they're going to get about 15 centimeters or so, and they're going to absolutely harass each other. There's the underside of some of those cool catfish. How cool are they? So bristlenose are going to max out about 15-16 centimeters on average, sometimes 18 if you're lucky. So we'll get a decent chunky size. There's 2 harassing each other over the best bit of the glass to sucker onto, but that is what suckerfish do. So there's a giant big mass of black brown Cooleyloches. I know, they're called black Cooleyloches, but they're not black. So frustrating. Very cool, very wiggly. Again, these are an Asian loach, sort of like a catfish. They look like an eel, but they're not an eel. There's a couple of plecos in here. These are from South America, and these are L397s. Yes, L397s, I had to vaguely think then. Very cool tiger stripe plecos. I think I've got probably about half a dozen or so of those left. There's a few random ghost glass catfish, which is little Asian catfish, and there is a few barbs left. These are longfin cherry barbs, and I did see a few in those other tanks. Oh, and actually we still have a whole heap of celestial pearl dinios. Wow, I didn't even realize I had that many. Okay, good time if you want some celestial pearl dinios, because it seems like we've got a good dozen or so in here. Lovely little fish. So all these fish are going to range in pH and temperature, but ideally keep them about 6.8 to 7, and temperature wise about 25-26 degrees, and you can't go wrong. All these like to be in groups, minus the little tiny L number catfish, which are going to max out about 10-12 centimeters. They're on their own, they're perfectly fine, or you can have a group of them as long as you've got a few hides for each fish. Otherwise they're going to absolutely harass each other over the same sort of log. Awesome little fish, and they just get more color with age. How absolutely awesome are these tetras? I know, we've got a lot of tetras in this video, but there'll be a few other random bits and pieces as well. Looks like we have one golden whiptail Cooleyloche left, just the one. They are a schooling fish, so if you do want him, make sure you've got a few little mates in your own tanks already. We have a lot of pygmy Corydoras in here. Obviously they are a microfish, so pygmy Corydoras are going to max out about 2 centimeters on average. These are probably about 1 centimeter to give you an idea. And all these absolutely awesome tetras are ember tetras. I didn't realize I had so many. There's probably a good maybe 60 or so in here or so, maybe more. They are a really lovely tetra. You're going to get no bigger than about 2.5 centimeters max. And obviously they've got that really nice bright orange color to them. Super peaceful, schooling, really nice little nano fish. If you've got a small tank, 20 litres or bigger, you can go perfectly fine with a nice group of those. Even a 10-litre tank, you can get away with like half a dozen or so of those. They are a soft water fish and they do like the pH below 7. So try and keep your water temperature around about that 22 to 26 and pH-wise anything from 6.5 to 7 and they'll do really, really well. There is a few tiny little endless live bearers, which is like a mini guppy. Look at the iridescence on that one. That is, oh, as you completely swim away, just as I'm talking about you, lovely fish. They've sort of got that wild guppy color to them. Enders live bearers are like a guppy, just a lot smaller. Very pretty, there's a few more there. Pinks, pastel colors, all sorts of stuff in them. And they got that cool little pointy, swordy bit on their tail. Sort of like a mini swordtail. So if you want tiny little fish that are absolutely awesome to look at, go for some of those. And there are a few little free spot Raspora in there somewhere, like that one there. I'm sure I saw one or two. Oh, there's a long fin albino bristlenose lurking at the back. There's another one on that pot. So like your normal bristlenose, but they have long fins. Funny enough, true story, definitely needs more dragons. And there's a big mixture of fish in this tank as well. We have more albino bristlenose lurking around the bottom. We have a few garden eye killifish, which are those really pretty colorful ones. Not the platies, which are the reddy orange ones, but those there are the killifish. Look how lovely those are. Those are boys, there may be one or two girls in there. I'm not entirely sure what is in this tank. Looking now, it's a nice big mixture of everything. So those gouramis are called croaking gouramis because they do make a weird croaking sound under the water. So I know every now and then you'll hear a weird sound like a weird frog, but it's the gouramis and they're not going to get overly huge. So they're going to max out about 5 centimeters or so. Lovely, weird little dwarf gourami. If you want something completely different, croaking gouramis are pretty awesome. So all these platies are babies, they're just growing up in here. But if you do want some, we can do you a deal on baby platies. Otherwise, you can just get a couple of parents and produce your own platies. Look how lovely those bristlenose are. So these are eating the higher protein wafers. There's a link down below in the description. Yeah, go into our online store and we sell all these foods and stuff like that. Just a really nice wafer that a lot of fish absolutely enjoy. Look at them fighting over the wafer. Stop fighting over the wafer. There's wafers at the back you can eat. Nope, he's like my wafer, chasing them all around. Yeah, okay, stop fighting, eat your wafer, next tank. And in this tank we have more little dwarf cichlids. So these are your neon blue rams. Beautiful little fish. We have some more sparkling gouramis, which is another dwarf gourami. These are a little bit smaller than the croaking gouramis. And we have a whole heap of tetras. We have some silver tip tetras and we have some bleeding blue tetras lurking around in here somewhere. There they are, slightly up there. Yes, they're slightly up there, that's where they are. Slightly higher up in the tank. So bleeding blue tetras look like a black neon, but they have a really nice blue sheen to them. And as they mature, they get red on the fins. Absolutely gorgeous looking tetra. If you can sort of see that one right in the middle, but then again distracted by the really nice blue cichlids. So all these fish, pH-wise, anything from 6.5 to 7, and temperature-wise, anything from 22 to 28 degrees, and they will be perfectly fine. There seems to be a lot of tanks with just a big mix of fish. So random Corydoras, yeah, what are those? They look like, oh, I didn't even realize they were in here. We have some diamond tetras in this tank, okay. We have some diamond tetras, we have some, what's that, Sturbe Corydoras, we have some Similis Corydoras, we have a blue-lined Raspora, we have some, golden dwarf cichlids as well, and some really, really nice super red bristlenose, super orange at the moment, but they will go a nice red color. What else have we got in there? There is a random couple of different tetras in here as well. Yeah, just an assortment of all sorts of cool sort of stuff. A few Bosmani rainbows left. Most of these are going to range in temperature and, well, they're all going to range in temperature from 22 to about 26 degrees or so. And pH-wise, anything from 6.5 to 7. The Bosmani rainbows will even tolerate up to about 7.8 or so. So Bosmani rainbows are one of those weird fish that'll go 6.5 to about nearly 8 in pH, which is kind of crazy. Are a tropical fish, so they don't like it too cold. Same as all these little cories and stuff in here. The Similis are absolutely awesome little cories. Just a nice little peaceful catfish if you want something with that cool blue smudge on the back bottom, which is the bock. Yes, on the bock. Every now and then we'll have a tank and there'll be just one random fish that shouldn't be in there, much like that chili rosy barb that's lurking around under the filter there. Yes, he's jumped over from the tank behind him, but we will be moving him back soon. Otherwise, we have some albino glow lights in here. We have some really nice Henglii raspora, and there's some gold laser Corydoras. Now, these are female endlers, those browny, olivey sort of coloured ones. I don't think there's any male endlers left in here. We did have some really nice tiger endlers, but these are female tiger endlers. So if you do want to breed the awesome tigery sort of striped pattern endlers, live bearers, then these females will probably already be pregnant and produce lots and lots of babies. Lovely Corydoras, so your gold striped Corydoras or your gold laser Corydoras are just an all-round awesome looking fish. Oh, there's a tiny little apistogramma there. Okay. Don't know where she came from, but there's an apistogramma in there as well. That's the wonder of assorted tanks. You look and you keep seeing completely different fish, but all these temperature-wise, anything from, again, 22 degrees to 26 degrees, and pH-wise, yeah. Apart from the barb, which we're not even going to talk about, we're going to go around and have a look at the barb tank next, but all these pH-wise, anything from about 6.5 to 7.2. Endless live bearers obviously don't like it below 7, so 7.2 to 7.4. But if you keep community tanks like this hovering about 7, you can get a nice variety of fish comfortable together. Oh look, there they are. There's the barbs. That's the tank that those other barbs should be in, but they keep jumping over. So I'm going to lower the water level because sometimes they can jump straight out of the tank. Luckily they've ended in another tank and not on the floor. But these are neon chili rosy barbs. I'm pretty sure they were in the last unboxing video. They will tolerate a huge range of temperatures and pH, anything from 10 degrees up to 30 degrees, and pH-wise 6.5 to 7.5. Very tolerant fish, absolutely awesome colour to them. Schooling, they can be nippy, so you wouldn't mix them with guppies or big flowing fins or things like goldfish, but they're fine with sort of rough and tumble smaller tetras, raspora, dinios, rainbow fish, and even smaller Central American cichlids. If you want something for a diver fish, just get a group of 5 or 6 of these and you cannot go wrong. Look how lovely they are. Perfectly fine in ponds in southeast Queensland because they'll tolerate the cold as well. How lovely are they? I know, these are longfin zebra dinios, another really awesome fish that's going to go well in ponds. They're going to tolerate a huge range of temperatures and pH again, 6.5 to 7.5, temperature-wise 10 degrees to 30 degrees. Look how lovely they are. They're going to max out about 5 centimeters or so. Just an all-round super peaceful, lovely fish, schooling, fast swimming, darting around, and just generally looking absolutely lovely. So you want to keep a group of them. Look how nice they are. Navy blue and silver stripes. Just a simple, easy to keep fish. They're not expensive. I think they're like 5 for $25 Australian. Want to keep a group, obviously, of 5 or more of them, but perfect for frog ponds, or if you want them just in a nice unheated or tropical community tank. Group of dinios, you cannot go wrong with them. How lovely. So I just realized this video is going to be way too long if I sort of film all the cichlids and all the other bits and pieces. So what I'm probably going to do is do them in a couple of other videos over the next few weeks so you can see all the different cichlids and stuff in the tank. We still have some really nice banded cichlids down there and some local bred angelfish, huge variety of other Central and South American cichlids, as well as some really nice Malawi and Tanganyikan cichlids. And if you did enjoy this video, click the thumbs up so I know. If you've got any questions or comments, or you're after any fish in this video and you're not too sure if we've still got them, just comment in the comments or give the shop a ring. The details are in the description somewhere. And thank you very much to all my members. If you want to become a member, you get a discount code for 10% off everything in store. So not even all the live, not even just all the live fish and plants and corals and stuff like that, but all dry goods and bits and pieces as well. Thank you very much to all my current members, and we will see you in the next video.